to the World Massage Conference.
Hello and welcome. I'm Melanie Hayden. I will be your host for this class with Heath and Nicole Reed, and they will be talking about exquisite self-care healing moves. If you're joining us for the live class, remember to log into the chat room located just to the right of the broadcast screen. Please log in with your name or with one of your social media IDs. As a full registrant, when you're taking this class, remember to open the quiz link and review the questions before the class starts. Take the quiz right away and get your certificate of completion. Our instructors will be in the chat room for the live class to answer as many of your questions as possible. Just before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our global sponsor, Massage Envy. Massage Envy is a community of caregivers committed to helping people feel their best. They believe that therapeutic massage and customized skincare are an integral part of well-being journey. If you share this belief, they would love to get to know you better. Learn more at massageenvy.com/careers. Thank you to our education partner. Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals provides an extensive array of member benefits and exceptional liability insurance. Visit abmp.com to discover why over 80,000 massage and bodywork professionals have chosen ABMP as their professional association. Thank you so much to our daily sponsors, Massage and Bodywork Magazine, Bon Vital, BioFreeze, and Massage Warehouse. Exquisite self-care healing moves. Enjoy taking exquisite care of yourself as you befriend your body's intelligence and grow your kinesphere's potential. Experience the magic of movement as we explore medical qigong, yoga therapy, and Thai yoga for self-care. Combine the power of your presence with globally inspired healing moves that expand your positivity and feeling of aliveness. These fun, healing moves generate opportunities for everyone to cultivate greater joy and moving possibilities. Follow along and discover, as Feldenkrais says, that there is no limit to the improvement of movement. I'd like to introduce our presenters, Heath and Nicole Reed. They are the co-founders of Living Metta, Living Loving Kindness, and want everyone in the world to enjoy the experience of befriending their body. Nicole and Heath lead workshops and retreats throughout the country and overseas, including Thailand, and have been teaching touch and movement therapy for 16 years. In addition to live trainings, Heath and Nicole offer massage therapy and self-care videos, DVDs, and online resources. Heath and Nicole, welcome back to the World Massage Conference. We love working with you guys and love the opportunity to learn from you.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie. It's so great to be here. Great to be a part of the World Massage Conference.
Yeah, and congratulations celebrating your 10-year anniversary. Go World Massage Conference.
Thank you. And I think you guys have been with us for almost that whole time teaching with us.
Almost.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, we love you guys, and we're really happy to have everybody here in the audience. Thanks for participating. I think as you follow along with us, you'll see that Nicole and I really love to have a good time so that learning doesn't have to be serious, but it can be easy, simple, and fun. And for the next hour, I hope you join us in kind of that spirit of joy, ease, play, and flow.
All right, let's get started. Well, what are we up to today, Heath?
Oh, boy. Well, some of our favorite healing moves. And basically what Nicole and I are interested in is creating a nervous system that can sustain larger amounts of positive energy for longer periods of time.
Yes. Yes, so how do we do that? How do we practically get ourselves organized in a way that we can expand into our potential of feeling more and more joy every single day? And we've discovered that the best ways to do that is by moving our bodies, circulating our awareness, noticing what we're paying attention to, and noticing our breath, watching our breath.
Yeah, and these are some of the main ways that not only can we feel better, but we can grow our body intelligence.
Our body wisdom, our ability to understand what our body is speaking to us so that we can make informed choices that support our wellness.
Yeah, and so if we look at each of those qualities and ideas, movement is paramount to Nicole and my self-care practice.
We do it every day. And if you've ever been to one of our live classes, every class begins with some movement.
Yeah, growing not only our body awareness of where we are kinesthetically in space, but also growing our capacity to use our body sensations as a reliable resource of information, of wisdom, of learning, growth, healing, joy. And
also a really great opportunity to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to give ourselves a living, loving kindness. So giving ourselves loving attention, loving kindness every single day.
Yeah, we like to imagine and practice what would it be like if you took as good care of yourself as you take care of your clients.
Ooh, what would that be like? Juicy, I want to say. I'd be living juicy.
and I imagine you'd be really feeling nurtured and taken care of. And what I see with a lot of our colleagues in this profession is sometimes we give till it hurts.
Yeah.
And we're running on empty, and when we're tired, we ignore those body signals. We just push or force through. When we're hungry or thirsty, we find something else that it's more convenient, maybe less healthy, or just put off the whole idea of hydration. And there's all these really what we think are pretty fundamental, basic cues given to our body all the time that oftentimes we override in favor of taking care of others first.
And there's so many benefits to taking care of ourselves. So many benefits. It leads right into reducing our stress, improving our ability to think clearly, make clear decisions. It helps us feel better energetically and physically, feeling like you have more movement potentials, feels like you have more possibilities in life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. As Nicole and I are celebrating our 21 years being together in a relationship, one of the things that we changed several years ago is that if we have a disagreement, we no longer allow ourselves to be in a seated position. So we're always standing if we're having a disagreement. And what we find is the disagreements are often a lot less heated. They're a lot less, they're shorter in duration. And just standing up gives you in your body's kinesphere an opportunity to experience more possibilities.
And your kinesphere is the space around you, the space that you can move around you with your feet on the floor. So let's begin to explore our kinesphere with our breath first. Yes? Exploring our kinesphere with our breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath here, so much so that your belly fills. And one of our favorite breaths is inhaling through the nose. Exhale out an open mouth with an audible sigh. And try on just a couple of those. And
new research shows that all it takes is 3 conscious breaths. Oh, that's Jake. I think he found someone to bark at, obviously. Jakey, come. So 3 conscious breaths, Jake, is all we need to do to move our bodies out of the adrenaline response.
The fight or flight, which Jake, our dog here, is a perfect model of.
And into the healing response. The parasympathetic response, when we begin to rest, restore from the sympathetic response to the parasympathetic response. So notice your 3 breaths right now. Follow your breaths in, follow your breaths out, feeling and noticing where you're breathing into your body, your upper chest, your lungs expanding into the back of your body, your belly beginning to bellow with your breath. And as the breath moves out of your body, can you feel your diaphragm kind of pushing up and beginning to massage your heart, and the coolness out your nose or your mouth?
Yeah, when we breathe deeply, not only do we get the oxygenation and energy, but we also are literally massaging our viscera, our organs.
And creating some mobility in our lumbar vertebrae. So the diaphragm connects to our lumbar. And every time that we allow ourselves to expand into a full breath, we are creating some mobility and flexibility and releasing tension in our low back.
So the third way, besides healing moves and healing breathing, another one of our favorite power moves, healing moves, is to oscillate our attention, to focus our attention in different parts of our body, different parts of our life, different parts of our practice.
Well, consciously circulating our attention, noticing When I'm noticing, and where is my attention? What am I focusing on? We've all heard all the research about what we focus on grows. So what is so entertaining? Where do you put your focus, and how long do you let it rest there? And do you ever let your focus rest inside?
Yeah, and not only do sometimes we take care of other people before ourselves, we often give others our attention, and we're the last ones to receive it.
Yeah, and the only time we look at ourselves or notice what's happening is if something's wrong.
Yeah, so what we like to do, and what we invite you to do here shortly, is to create some healing moves for joint relief. And these healing moves are meant to create more space in the synovium, in our tissues, but also to create more spaciousness, not just physiologically, but psychologically. And we're going to be exploring the ancient medical Qigong practice of the 8 silk brocade.
Heath and I have had the great opportunity to travel to China and learn the 8 silk brocade from Master Montauk Chia.
Yeah, both in Thailand and in our studies in Guangzhou near Hong Kong. And we've been studying Qigong for a long time.
Oh, Master Chow, Peter Chow, a local here in Arizona, who we get to still take care of us. He talks about how Qi is really wind.
Yeah, it's not energy. Like the ancients, our ancestors didn't have that plug and an outlet and energy as we know it. But Qi literally translates
as wind circulating throughout our body through meridian systems.
Yeah, and the Gong practice, Qigong, looks a lot like Tai Chi, but even slower. Mindful meditation Gong just means a dedication, a discipline, a practice.
So we're doing a wind practice this hour.
And this will help release and clear out our energy channels as well as our fascial meridians, our anatomy trains. And we'll primarily be moving through when you're hurt or when you feel stuck, either physically or psychologically. Our progression of range of motion, of movement, starts first by giving ourselves exquisite self-care, finding a way to luxuriate and find easy range of motion, then expanding into flexibility, and then going for strength and power. Mm-hmm. And you'll see in this 8 silk brocade a beautiful synergy of these elements weaves throughout, which will help nurture your respiratory system, your circulatory system, your immune system. It's great for anybody at any stage of healing. You'll see the video is done in standing, but you could do it in seated.
We hope you enjoy the 8 silk brocade.
And our strong recommendation or invitation is to stand up and join along and notice how good you can feel.
Moving from the floor to a standing position. Eight Silk Brocade, a medical Qigong series to free the joints and free the energy channels in the body. Let us begin. This series can be done in repetitions of 3 times, 6, or 9 times at a time. We'll do 3 times each. With the feet about hip width apart and the palms pressing down towards the floor, we'll lift the fingers. Inhale, look over the shoulder. And then exhale, let it all go. Inhale, press the earth down, lift the fingers, look over the shoulder. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times as we lift and press and squeeze the shoulders together, releasing all that effort. How much can you let go of? Pressing down, engage, 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 squeeze, 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 and release. 1 more time each way as you press down, and perhaps this time stretch the eyes a little further. Let it go. Press down, lift the fingers, squeeze the shoulders, and maybe stretch the eyes. Release. Moving into a wider stance. Soft knees, bending the knees and bringing your hands in front of your chest. We're going to pick up a bow and arrow. We're going to pull the bow apart. We're going to pull with one arm back and point our arrow to the side, lifting up just 2 fingers. Going to inhale and maybe even lean back to that back leg, to the bow leg. And on the exhale, let that arrow fly, let it go, bring your hands back to center. Gonna inhale, reach the arm out to the side, reach back, lean back, find your target, and release. 2 more times each way, crossing the arms in front. As you open, squeeze the back body, find your target. What are you aiming for today? And let it go. Breathing in and reaching to the side and releasing. Focusing your awareness 1 more time each way. And if you'd like to, you can take a little more advanced. Maybe you're shooting your bird and it's a little higher than you. You can reach your arrow up towards the sky and then release. 1 more time. You can reach your arrow straight up towards the sky and let it go. Beautiful. Bringing the hands and the feet together. Let's lift the sky. Gonna inhale and lift with one hand up towards the sky and press the opposite down towards the earth. Stretching the arms away from each other as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, bringing the hands through center and bringing the opposite hand up, pressing the opposite hand down. Stretch both arms away from each other. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times each way, pressing up, pressing down. Doesn't matter which way your fingers point or turn, and release. Reaching. And if you like to, you can add a stretch, a little bit of a twist. This time as you bring your hands up, you can twist away from that hand that's up and release. 1 more time, stretching up, lift the sky, press the earth, stretch towards away from the arm that's up, and let it go. Beautiful. Tiger's eye, wide stance. You're gonna bend deep into your knees this time, and you're gonna bring your thrusting palms into and along your sides of your body. We're going to alternately thrust our palms out in front of us as if you're fighting something fierce. You're the tiger. Your tiger eyes are growing wide and fierce, and your target is in front of you and you're ready to strike. And we're going to punch with one arm out in front of us and then rotate the fingers open and bring it back. So let's add a little more breath to this. We're going to inhale, and on the exhale, nice big, and then unwind the fingers, bring it back. Open, pull to the palm. Add some voice if you like. Open, pull it in with your breath. Exhale, punch it out. Pull it in, last one. Fierce tiger eyes, bring it in, nice. Drop your palms, bring your hands back to standing. Kidneys, kidney breathing. So we're gonna inhale through the center, up towards the sky. We're gonna dive forward, exhaling. Inhaling, using your fingertips to slide up the front of the legs, and bring your hands to your lower back. Hold the breath as you extend and reach your head to the wall behind you. Release the hands down the back of the legs and out the pinky toe. Trace that back line. And then inhale, coming up through center, scoop the air in front of you. Scoop the breath up through center and back up to the sky. Exhaling, diving forward. Inhaling, tracing the lines in the front of the legs, up and towards the lower back. Support the kidneys, support the lower back as you hold your breath and extend, reach back. Exhale, trace the energy lines, the meridians down the posterior leg and out the pinky toe. And this time bringing the hands up through the center, scooping up the center line of the body and bringing the hands up overhead. Last time, diving forward. Tracing the lines up the front of the legs to the lower back and kidneys. Hold the breath. Extend back maybe a little further this time. Hold the breath and then exhale. Trace the back of the legs, down and out the pinky toe, scooping your chi, your energy up through the center line. And this time up overhead, instead of diving forward, we'll just bring the arms down by your side. Let's work with the heart, the energy of fire, with a wide stance, coming into a nice wide stance and a deep bend into your legs. Hands to your hips. We're going to inhale, lean forward, and then turn your body all the way to the side and your toes too. You're going to rend back a little bit, and then exhale back to center. Leaning forward, back to center. So here we go. We're going to inhale, turn to the other side, turn your toes, extend your spine. Exhale, rotate, reach the spine forward and back to center. Beautiful. Let's try that 2 more times each way. Lean forward. Inhaling, reaching back, extending. Exhaling back to start. Opening the channels of the heart. Inhaling, reaching towards the side. Extending back. Exhaling, leaning forward and back to start. Last one, lean forward, turn to the side, extend back, feel a deep stretch in the front of the thigh, and then exhale back to start. Last one, inhale, turn, extend, exhale, reach, and return to center. Beautiful. Heel toe those feet back under your hips and shoulders. Triple warm-up breath. Inhaling through the center, scoop up your chi up through the center. And exhale the arms wide out like wings by your side. 2 more. Inhaling. Up through center. Arms out and wide down towards your side. If you'd like to, the next time you bring your arms up through center, bring them all the way up to the sky. You can balance on your toes. And then drop the heels, drop the arms down by your side. We're going to lift and drop the heels for our final of the 8, the 8th of the 8 silk brocade. We'll do 9 heel drops. Inhaling and exhaling your final breath.
The 8 silk brocade is so delicious. I so enjoy doing that. And I also enjoy some of the healing moves that we are now going to talk about for the low back.
Yeah. And so there's a tremendous amount of muscularity around the superficial and deep fascia of our body, from all the way from the occiput down to the tailbone. In this next series, Healing Moves for Low Back, Hip, and Sciatic Relief, we're going to really focus on releasing the pelvic bowl, helping to clear out low back, hip, and sciatic-like tension, and really begin to mobilize the SI joint, L5, S1. You know, the ligaments around the low back and pelvis are so powerful and strong that in cases of acute trauma or injuries, oftentimes the bones of the sacrum and ilium will shatter or break before the ligaments shear. So you'll see in the next healing moves for the low back, hip, sciatica projects, you'll see an invitation to first find a first aid for low back. If your low back goes out, what to do in that case. And then ways to help build upon that first aid with range of motion, with then enhancing flexibility, and then also increasing strength. Mm-hmm. So even though we're focusing on low back, you're going to see some core exercises. You're going to see some pelvic clock inspired by Feldenkrais. So let's take a journey, and you might want a chair or a stool you can prop your legs up on, and if possible, find a blanket or even pillow. Those props will help you out for the next healing moves for the low back. I hope you enjoy this video.
Going right into our acute pain relief for the back, especially for the low back. If you are suffering from low back tension, low back pain in this moment, this is your go-to move called what we call instant Maui. To get there, we're going to place a blanket on the chair, or maybe you find a ottoman or the edge of a couch, somewhere you can rest your feet upon. At the bottom of that chair, you're going to place the bolster, the firm pillow. Place your firm pillow there and then rest your bum right on top of that firm pillow as you swing your legs onto the chair, onto the couch or the ottoman, whatever you have available. As long as your knees are just over your hip, you want a nice 90-degree angle so that the knees stack directly over the hips the best you can. Gently lay back onto the ground. Roll the shoulders down and back and allow the arms to rest comfortably down by your sides. From here, you can start to connect with the breath. Notice how the breath circulates in and out as we rest here for about 5 minutes. So let yourself just be comfortable as you can, as gravity does its job for you. Gravity is going to start to press and drop the knees in towards the hips. And those muscles that surround the bone will begin to soften and make its way down towards the ground. The back, if it's arching off the floor, will start to relax and soften and make its way to the earth. The back is often related to support. And in this pose, in this instant Maui, you become a waterfall of support, reaching towards the earth and allowing the earth at the same time to rise up and to support you. Feel supported in this moment as you breathe in and as you breathe out. At any time, if you'd like more of a restorative breath, you can inhale through the nose and exhale out an open jaw or a soft mouth. Finding this easy breath. Notice how that exhale emphasizes letting go. And that's your job right now, to let go. Let go of the tension, let go of any spasming that might be holding yourself in a position that's causing this tension or pain. I find this to be my go-to pose even if I just have a little backache or just been standing on my feet for many hours of the day. This is an easy way to find softness in the middle or in the throes of pain. Continue to breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth, following the breath, circulating the breath, and even sending your breath to the lower back or anywhere that you feel the most tension or resistance. Where is that tension in your body? Where is that resistance that you feel like you're holding? And feel yourself shine the light of your awareness on that part of your body and send your breath to that part of yourself. Fill that part of your body with oxygen, with blood, and your most valuable resource, your attention. A friendly attention, a kind attention. Maybe even smile to this part of you that might be asking for you to change something. And here you are changing something, changing what you're doing, changing something out of the norm. Offering yourself an opportunity to feel something different, to feel something new, to give yourself room to breathe, an opportunity to feel, again, supported. Do you feel supported? Where do you feel supported? Do you allow support to rise up and offer itself to you? In this moment, giving yourself permission to be supported. As we move through this practice, we'll rest here and find our support, and then we'll move into some spaciousness, and then we'll find our stability. So here, just let it all go. Smile to yourself. Breathe into the body. and feel gravity doing its work. Your muscles might spasm or ache. You might feel a little twitching as the body begins to release its tension. And that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for those subtle cues that our body's giving to us, showing us that what we're doing is working. And those twitches, those little minor releases that we feel are all good cues that we're moving in the right direction on our healing journey. You can remain here for an additional 5-10 minutes. Ideally, 20 minutes would be your best way to approach this technique, to approach this pose, this instant Maui, this waterfall of letting go. Especially if you're in the throes of pain. You want to stay here longer until you feel the body release and relax. Let's continue by creating some more flexibility and openness around the low back, the hips, and the spine with a yoga block. Let's add a yoga block to our practice, or use your firmest pillow in the room. We're going to bring it between our thighs and squeeze it in between our legs. You can have the shortest together, the shortest way. You can bring it to the widest or the most, either way, whichever feels most comfortable between your legs and thighs, so that you can comfortably squeeze your thighs together here and release. Let's try 6 of these. We're gonna squeeze the thighs together and then let it go 6 times. And this will help us create space in the SI joint. That SI joint lives, it's a space in the lower back where those little divots are, where sometimes people feel a lot of tension or pain, but it connects the sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of the spine, with your hip bones. And it's about 1 to 6 inches long. And every time we squeeze the block, we help create some space in that synovial joint there. After your 6th repetition, we'll keep the block there, but we won't start, we'll stop the active squeezing. We'll pause on the squeezing, but maintain enough tension that we keep the block between your thighs. With the block between your thighs, maintain a gentle squeeze without over squeezing, and we're going to now begin to work through our pelvis, a pelvic clock. On the inhale, we're going to press our tailbone into the floor and feel an arching in the spine, in the lower back. Press the tailbone into the floor as you arch your lower back off the floor. On the exhale, we're going to round the lower back, press the waistband into the ground. That's the base of your sacrum. We're going to go back and forth with the breath, still using that diaphragmatic breathing, going wide with the breath as you point your tailbone into the ground, and then exhale, press the waistband, the low back into the floor. So kind of like a cat-cow on the floor, we're moving, rocking from top to bottom of that sacrum. Gently beginning to create some range of motion and flexibility at the base of the spine. Now, we call it pelvic clock. So we're going to imagine that every time you press your tailbone into the ground, that's 12 o'clock. And every time you press your waistband into the floor, that's 6 o'clock. So feeling that, and feeling any little subtle lines that show up. You'll see and feel where things aren't, that there are no straight lines in the body. That there's a lot of curves and arcing and arching that happens. Feel for those curves and arches. Feel for where there's achiness or tension. And also, most importantly, smile into the places of freedom and openness. After your next exhale, we're going to pause right in the center of 12 and 6. Holding your center, feeling your breath. We're going to create 6 squeezes, another thigh squeezes with the block between your legs. We're going to squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Again, focusing our release for the lower back, the SI joint, sacroiliac joint. After your next squeeze, we'll pause. We're gonna add some lifts. We're gonna get a little bit of strength, add a little bit of more range of motion as we engage the lower belly. So hugging or pulling that navel in towards the spine. We're gonna interlace our fingers behind our neck. Interlace fingers behind the neck, pulling the belly, the navel in towards the spine. On the exhale, we're going to lift or float our knees in towards our chest. And then inhale, begin to float the feet back towards the floor, but only go as far as you can so that your back does not arch off the ground. So keep your back flat the entire time as you exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest, and inhale, reach the toes towards the ground. They may or may not touch. It doesn't matter. What you want to do most importantly is protect your spine by keeping the back flat on the ground. Try 6 of these. 6 is our magic number today. Find and connect with your breath. Squeeze the thighs together. And if you'd like to take this a little deeper, we can. We can add a little more intensity. The next time you bring your knees to your chest, you can bring your shoulders to meet your knees. This will add a little bit more intensity, a little abdominal crunch. Let's emphasize, engage the front of the lower back to help create some stability in the back of the body. Squeeze the knees in and the chest at the same time. One more breath in, one more breath out. Or your own count of 6, and then let it all go. Release the hands back down by your side. Transitional breath. My favorite part of action is its equal and complementary opposite, inaction, an opportunity to let it all go, to be soft. Let's continue with our clock. So we discovered where 12 and 6 were. Now let's find where 3 and 9 are. Find the center of your clock between 12 and 6. And you may want to put your hands to your hip bones, and this will help maybe create a little guidance as we begin to rock the pelvis side to side. We'll breathe in first, and on the exhale, rock your pelvis to the right side, to 3 o'clock, and then move through the center and find and press the lower back or the left SI into the ground for 9 o'clock. Now back and forth, shifting towards 3, shifting towards 9. And doing your best not to move your knees as much. So we want to keep our knees kind of pretty stable and let all the movement come from your hips, from the sacrum, from the lower back, from this kind of chunk of your body so that you're not incorporating or recruiting other body parts to do this job. Isolating and creating flexibility in the hips. When that feels complete, 6 times each, a total of 6 times, that's our magic number, we'll pause. Again, find the center of your clock directly between 3 and 9. Transitional breath. Feel that block between your thighs and thigh squeeze. One more time, 6 times. Last round of 6 squeezes. You can exhale as you squeeze, inhale as you release, or if you found yourself doing the opposite, that's fine too. Follow your most natural and organic breaths here. We're going to now release the thigh squeezes and bring our interlaced fingers back behind our neck again. Let's create some strength in this front of our body. This time, we're going to go and bring our right shoulder to our left hip. Right shoulder to your left hip, keeping the elbows far back. Yes, as you lift and then release. So we'll exhale as we bring ourselves up towards that left hip, and then relax back down towards the ground. Does not matter how high you get up. What matters most is you feel the engagement in your lower belly, in your abdomen. That transverse abdominis is activating and firing and beginning to create anterior or front body support for your lower back. Emphasizing the shoulder to the hip bone, and maybe even lift the hip bone towards that shoulder. You can press and lift. Press the right hip down as you lift the left hip up. Let's try that for one more inhale, one more exhale, or a total of 6. And then release. Let's go the other way. Let's go the opposite way. Let's bring the opposite shoulder towards the opposite hip bone. Your count of 6, a gentle engagement. And again, it doesn't matter how high you lift. What matters is you feel the engagement in your abdomen. You feel the strength and the warmth that you're bringing and building in the front of your body to stabilize and protect your spine. Keeping the elbows back. After your 6th repetition, we'll pause, rest the arms down by your side, and take a transitional breath. Feel the benefits of that circulating, the heat. Maybe inhaling through the nose and give yourself a nice gentle sigh out after some effort and engagement. Try that for another 2 or 3 repetitions, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through an open mouth, a soft jaw. Maybe add some sighs into it. Relief. Letting go. Let's play with the clock just a little bit more. So we discovered where 12 and 6 are, 3 and 9. Let's find all the numbers on that clock. Deep breath in. On the exhale, let's find that 12 o'clock. Point that tailbone in towards the floor, and then begin to roll towards 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Feel that hip bone, lift and press, and then back around towards 6, all the way through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and back to start. See if you can smooth out the edges around your sacrum, around this clock, creating a circle or circumference of support, of stability in the lower spine. If you feel any areas of tension, of resistance, of achiness, or maybe even a little numbness, you may want to spend a little extra time there. You can hold in any one position on the clock, or maybe you can rock in front or behind that tension or pain or numbness that you're feeling. But with a friendly curiosity, just noticing if you can press in all the numbers around the clock into the floor. Doing your best to keep the knees stable without too much movement, allowing all the motion to come from your hips. We'll go one more time around the clock, or a total of 3 times. And then we'll pause again at the center. Transitional breath. Notice how that felt, how that feels in your lower back. Maybe your shoulders, your neck is starting to respond. Oftentimes there's this relationship between the low back and the neck. When the low back is tight, the neck is tight or short or feels tension. So notice how, as you release the lower back, your neck and shoulders begin to soften and relax as well. Let's go counterclockwise. Let's go backwards on that clock. Deep breath in. On that exhale, press the tailbone into the floor. And then let's go 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As fast or as slow that feels good for you. What will give you the most information? Where will you feel the most? One more time, noticing where you feel the most resistance or tension, the achiness. And maybe up to you to spend more time in that part of the body, in that part of the sacrum. You can hold or rock in front or behind or pivot before and backwards over those points of tension. You can also notice the freedom you're creating, the range of motion that you are emphasizing in your lower back. One more breath, one more round, or a total of 3 times around the sacrum. And then we'll pause in the center of your clock. Hold your center. Rest in your center. Notice how this slightly engages your lower abdomen. Notice how the lower back is contacting the floor. Notice how this affects your breath. Pelvic clock.
So enjoy working with the low back. And now let's go right into the shoulder. Let's experience how much freedom and range of motion we can create right into the neck and shoulder. Some of the main structures around, muscular structures around the shoulder. We've got the sits, the rotator cuff muscles that we're going to be moving through and creating space. Creating space particularly in that thoracic outlet. How do we create more space in that thoracic outlet? So we're going to do that with some shoulder clock and some neck lifts and opening into our scalenes a little bit here in just a moment.
And we're going to specifically be looking at releasing the primary impingement places of the brachial plexus in the scalenes, pec minor, between the clavicle and rib cage, as well as Nicole mentioned, strengthening the neck muscles, especially the anterior wall. So we've talked a lot about the benefits of movement early on. We also want to really hit home the significance of stretching. And if you have a dog or a cat at home, an animal at home, you see every morning how they begin their day by, stretching out, flexing, extending their spine. And stretching, not only does it create more range of motion and flexibility, but it also helps to strengthen. So with, as Nicole mentioned, the wall clock, the shoulder clock we'll be exploring really helps to reorganize the fascia in amazing ways. And we're going to explore both first aid moves for the neck and shoulder with some layouts, and then we're going to do some rainbow exercises along the floor. And then we're going to build up a little more strength using the wall to help open that thoracic outlet. So again, you might want a few props.
And find an empty spot on the wall so you can start reaching your arm in different directions. Cool. Let's do this.
And let's begin with very nice first aid if you're healing in the neck and shoulders. To begin with, we're going to roll up our blanket or our towel. So roll it on up, and this blanket is going to go sideways on the floor behind your back and if ladies, right along your bra strap. Gentlemen, you don't have a bra strap, but imagine. So the blanket roll is going to be below the angles of your shoulder blades. Also, you're going to have the prop, the bolster, toward the front of your mat so that you can place your knees on top of that. Finally, a third prop, another blanket or pillow, can go underneath the head. So Nicole's demonstrating, and you can see our beautiful and handsome models getting set up. You're going to support your body with your seat between the blanket roll and the bolster. Your knees will go above the blanket roll. Your knees will go above the bolster, and you'll guide your body down gently with your arms and forearms, making sure that the blanket is just beneath the edges of your shoulder blades. A second blanket could be under your head or your neck, and get comfortable with your palms facing upwards. Your palms could be level with your hips, they could be out like wings from your heart, or they could be more like a Y shape up overhead. Now let's begin to find our breath. Inhale through your nose, and on exhale, exhale out an open mouth. Breathing like this today, to help calm and ease any tension in your neck, your shoulders, inhaling through the nose and exhale out an open mouth. Might even be an audible sigh. And just let go of any limitations you have on your capacity to receive and let go with your breath. Feel that breath moving through your throat, in and around your lungs, and exhale out an open mouth. As we exhale out that open mouth, we relax the jaw. And when we truly relax what's called the TMJ, the temporal mandibular joint, when we release the jaw joint completely, we're able to release the neck, the shoulders, and likewise, the low back, hips, and pelvis respond to an easy, relaxed jaw. So keep in mind, if you're healing in the neck and shoulders, having a relaxed jaw is going to move you in the direction of healing. Also notice, if you're getting irritated, frustrated, stressed, your shoulders are lifting up, and you're just feeling agitated, try some of those restorative breaths in through the nose and out an open mouth. Continue to breathe like this for another minute or so, and feel gravity pressing you down into the blanket roll. You really want to feel your body resting and compressing into the blanket roll. And you don't want the blanket roll to be too edgy. So if you feel your body is tensing and you're pulling away, then I suggest you roll to your side, and instead of rolling the blanket, just fold it in half and lie on the folded blanket instead of the rolled blanket. If you'd still like more intensity, on the other hand, roll a couple blankets together, and this will up the ante. This will make it a little edgier. We want to find our Goldilocks edge. In through the nose, exhaling out an open mouth. And you want to find that Goldilocks edge with all of our practices today, so it's not too much intensity, but it's not too little. We still want to challenge ourselves. Find the edge, but don't force or push over the edge. 3 more deep breaths here, allowing your rib cage. Imagine your rib cage is pliable, more like Tupperware or even rubber, and it has this pliability as you move your lungs into your ribs. More than half, the majority of your lung tissues in the back half of your rib cage. So 1 more breath here. Really maximize your capacity to receive on the in-breath through the nose and let go on the out-breath, out an open mouth. That's good. Now let's bend the knees. Place the feet flat on your bolster and just press the bolster off the mat, off and away from you with your legs straight. You slide that bolster away. Beautiful. We're going to roll all the way over to our right side. And if possible, keep that blanket roll under your rib cage, and also feel free to keep that pillow or blanket under your head. Both of your arms are going to stretch out from your chest with your left palm on top, and maybe your left fingers reach a little further than your right fingers. Now let's begin, and your knees can be straight, they could be bent, you could have a pillow between your knees. Let your knees be comfortable. This is more about opening up into the shoulder girdle. We're going to inhale as we begin to trace with our left palm in front of our head, up over our head, and then bring, still tracing the floor with your fingers, the left arm all the way back behind your heart. So your arms make a T. And then let's rewind. And so with the fingertips touching the floor the whole time, we're going to trace back up overhead, back toward the front of our face, and then straight out from our heart. And let's keep moving like this. If possible, coordinate that restorative breath. Inhale through the nose as you just draw and trace a rainbow shape up over your head and behind your back. And exhale out an open mouth as you bring the arm back overhead and then in front of your chest and heart. There's no need to rush. Find your perfect pace. You may be going quicker or slower than my cues or than our friends are moving, but find your own organic, natural movement. Feel as though you're not just moving from your hands and arm and shoulder, but even from the center of your chest at your heart. Let's try 3 more like this. And for more intensity, if you can touch your fingers the whole time, And by the way, if you can't, that's fine. Just go as far as you can. But if you can touch your fingertips the whole time, see if you can straighten your arm throughout as you bring that arm up overhead and behind you, and then rewind. If you can keep the fingers touching and the elbow straight, then consider keeping your palm facing the earth most or all the time. Very nice. One more like this. We're going to inhale through the nose, opening up the shoulder girdle, opening up the tissue of what's called the thoracic outlet. A lot of nerves and ligaments and muscles and blood vessels get trapped in this brachial plexus, in this thoracic outlet. And let's hold here with the arm behind us. Find the stickiest, the tightest, the edgiest spot of tension and just kind of explore. Just roll around like you're a bumblebee rolling around in the pollen of a flower. You can roll your palm up and your palm down. Allow that inner elbow crease to roll and have this sense of that top upper left shoulder just melting and oozing into the earth. Try one more deep breath here. Just either static, hold and stretch, or begin to rotate. Feel the arm bone, the humerus rotating in that shoulder socket. Beautiful. Now we're going to move all the way onto our back. The knees will face the ceiling as we position ourselves all the way over to our left side. So let's roll onto our left side. Again, now both palms in front of our heart. Right fingers stretch a little past the left. And let's begin again, rainbow. This is a Feldenkrais movement therapy technique. And keep in mind, inhale as you bring the arm up, back, and behind you. That will help not only open your shoulder and chest, but that will stretch the pleura, the lung tissue. And exhale as you bring the arm back down in front of the chest. Your perfect pace. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Go to the pace of your essence. Find the essence pace. We're taught early on to hurry up or sit still, or we're put all these restrictions on our mobility, on our movement, or on our rest. Here, give yourself, we invite you to give yourself permission to follow the pace of your essence. For 2 more deep breaths, wherever you are, remember fingertips touching the whole time. If possible, elbow straightens, and if you want to go further, if it's accessible, keep the palm facing the earth the entire time. When you find that top right arm behind you or above you or wherever you feel the most resistance, let's make friends with the resistance. Instead of battling or forcing our way through our healing, we want to make friends with areas we're healing. So wherever you feel that top right arm feeling a good stretch either overhead or back behind you, we're going to begin to play with the edge. Breathe into it. I know you don't have lungs in your arm, you don't have lungs in your shoulder joint per se, but I want you to imagine like you could send your breath into where you feel the most sensation. The arm could be static, or we could begin to roll the arm and the palm face up, elbow crease up, and then the palm face down, elbow crease down. Continue to feel the right shoulder blade oozing and melting into the earth. Practice this for 3 more deep breaths. Find your breath. Long, slow, deep breaths. Locate yourself on the earth and breathe into the blanket roll. Breathe in to your ribs, your shoulders, and your neck. Perfect. Let's bring that right palm in front of the chest again, and we're going to press our body up enough that we can remove both blankets out from under our ribs and our head. So take the blankets off of your mat, and then lie back down onto your back body with our feet flat and our knees bent. We're going to begin to bring a little more activation and beautiful alignment into our neck. So what we're going to do here is we're going to inhale and arc our neck and press your chin toward the ceiling slightly with the head resting on the floor. Exhale as you draw your chin down toward your throat. And this is what I'd like you to really focus on here. So keep your chin in toward your throat. Feel how the back of the neck gets long. And then I want you to feel the opposite. So let your chin jut forward and up toward the ceiling. Just hold here for a second, maybe even exaggerate. Press your your chin toward the ceiling higher. And notice how you might feel a kink in the back of your neck. The neck bones, the cervical vertebrae get a little compressed here. This is how a lot of times we hold our body in a forward head position, in what sometimes layman terms poke neck. So now let's do the opposite. Let's find nice balance and integration alignment in the spine by drawing the chin into the throat. Imagine you have a chopstick between your chin and your throat. You don't want to lose that chopstick. And now you might be a little hesitant to do this, but you want to give yourself a double chin. But keep in mind, you're actually counteracting, you're toning the muscles. By giving yourself a double chin here, holding on to that imaginary chopstick, we're doing what's called neck retraction. So as you inhale, really exaggerate neck retraction. Feel the back of your neck get long. Inhale, inhale, like you're a giraffe with a long neck. Exhale, just soften. We're not going to exaggerate and poke the chin up, but you just soften. Try that 2 more times. Inhale, giraffe neck, neck retraction, chin retracts into the neck, long back of your neck, and then exhale, soften. Practice that 1 more time. We're strengthening the muscles in the front of the neck. Inhale, neck retraction, long back of the neck, and then exhale, soften and relax. Good. Now I'd like you to bring your hands to the side or even the back of your head. Good, and so you're going to hold the back of your head, your elbows are resting to the sides wherever they're comfortable. And now begin to practice neck retraction again. Jaw comes in toward the throat, jaw retraction, giraffe neck. And now just lift the scalp off the mat 1 millimeter. So you won't even be able to tell in the camera that our friends are lifting our head up. The hair is still touching. Keep breathing, that's number 1. Don't forget to breathe. Sounds funny to say. For 5, 4, 3, hair's still touching, scalp's off. Exhale and relax the head down. Good, we're going to try that 2 more times. Now, if this exacerbates, if this makes your neck pain worse, then don't do the neck lift. Keep your scalp down and just practice giraffe neck. Otherwise, you can try the assist. Let's hold that chopstick, giraffe neck, jaw retraction, and now lift the scalp up just 1 millimeter. Now notice you might not need your hands. You can rest your hands down by your sides as you hold your scalp, hover your scalp just 1 millimeter off the mat. Now I want to add drawing your shoulder blades down, back, and together. Keep breathing. Palms are turned upward. And press your feet into the mat to press your low back into the mat for 3, 2, oh, relax. When did our head get so heavy? Good, just let everything melt. Find a transitional breath. Maybe a restorative breath in through your nose. Maybe an audible I or sigh. Now let's make our way to a wall. So you just want a wall that is empty space. You're not going to run into any pictures or thermostats. And we're going to do what's called wall clock. So we're going to be about 1/2 foot away from the wall, and we're going to stretch our arms straight up next to our ear along our body, and feel your arm and your wrist stretch away from your elbow without your shoulder crunching into your ear. So let your shoulder slide away from your ear, and your shoulder slide away from your elbow, and your wrist reach up away from your elbow. Feel as though you have suction cups in your palms, and isometric, you're not going to actually move, you're going to keep the same movement. Feel like you're moving the wall in front of you, but you're not actually sliding. And that'll help open, we mentioned earlier, the thoracic outlet. Keep breathing here. So we call this wall clock, and if you were on the clock, your hand would be up at 12. Good. Let's bring our hand, one hand width back behind us, if it's accessible. And so now we're at imaginary 11 on our imaginary clock. Keep breathing. Notice, are you excessively kinking your low back? So we don't have to tuck the tailbone, but feel the tailbone elongating away from the waistline. Keep breathing. I know you don't have lungs in your shoulder joint, but imagine you could send your breath anywhere where you feel the most sensation. How about one more deep breath here at 11? Soften your opposite shoulder, your right shoulder. Beautiful. And let's take it another hand width back. So now we're about 10 on our wall clock. Keep breathing here. Keep feeling like you're sliding the wall without actually sliding your hand, like you're going to move the wall up to the side and in front of you. You want to feel that counter force as you open through the pectoralis major, the muscles in the front of your chest that tend to get really tight and sometimes even lead to rounded shoulders and that Dowager's hump. Excessive thoracic kyphosis. We can open the heart and the chest with this. For one more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. How about one more hand width back behind us? And we're moving toward parallel. It's okay if you don't make it all the way. It's okay if you relax your arm down by the side and you just take a rest. Give yourself what you need without forcing, rushing, or willing. When healing, we don't want to have a violent attitude toward ourselves. And when we force things, when we rush things, we're compounding our healing with violence. So be very gentle with yourself. 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Imagine like you have lungs where you can feel the most sensation and you send your breath into the center of the richest sensation. We call this a sensory rich experience. That's one way to say it. Beautiful. If you want to go further, keep the palm exactly where it is against the wall, but bring the palm face up so the karate chop pinky side of your palm is pressing into the wall. That might be enough. Notice the shoulders. Are they sliding down to towards your back pockets? For the last 30 seconds, if and only if you want to go further, and wherever you are is perfect, begin to walk your feet and your torso more toward the center of the room, away from the wall. Breathing here. Sending your breath into where you feel the most sensation. One more deep breath in, and then exhale out of open mouth as you unwind and face the wall. Let go of the arm off the wall. Beautiful. And if you don't mind, friends, face the cameras for us for a moment. Let's all face the camera here. And I'd like everybody to notice, can you tell which arm they just did? So you all, friends, just let your arms and shoulders relax and notice, can you tell what shoulder they did? It's amazing how much benefit you get just with a few moments. That was about a 2 to 3 minute hold.
Thank you for joining us. We're having such a great time moving in our bodies and exploring new range of motion possibilities and noticing where we're experiencing more flexibility and least flexibility so that we can focus on those areas that we want to create more movement potential.
Yeah, and if you tried that wall clock, which was in the last video, could you feel and see the difference from one arm to the other?
Yeah.
And even though we just showed it on one side, probably a good idea to go and get your other arm and shoulder cleared out as well. So we have a boatload of different modalities that really get us jazzed up and really.
And self-care is definitely on our top priority. So we have put together several Healing Move DVDs, all just for the hip, one just for the neck and shoulders, one joint relief going through all the joints, including some Qigong movements. Here's that back and hip relief DVD that we put together for first aid, flexibility, and strength. And then finally, we have our neck and shoulder relief. So if those are of interest to you, check us out. You can download them off our website, heathandnicole.com, or Living Meta. Either way, you can find us there and find our Healing Moves DVD series.
And we also teach a body work, especially Thai yoga, anything involving healing and moving. So oftentimes we're manipulating fascia, reorganizing fascia while we're either actively stretching our client or our client is doing call for movement, range of motion, and moving as we help them open and create more space. But we also not only have online and live trainings in different modalities, but we take groups to study with some of our teachers.
In Thailand. So come with us to Thailand. If that's of interest to you, get more stretching, more range of motion, increase your flexibility, all in a foreign country, meeting some of our favorite teachers and going to some of our favorite places and restaurants, hanging out with some elephants. It is a magical journey we'd love for you to join us on. We're also starting new retreats in Maya Tulum. We're going to a seaside retreat in Mexico in 2018. So if that sounds of interest to you, we'd love for you to join us there, hang out in some of those Mayan ruins and feel the kind of Pachamama magic that comes from that part of the country.
It's such a sanctuary to be ensconced in nature with like-minded people, expanding our capacity to experience more positivity, more energy, and more ways to connect and heal.
And we love to stay connected with you. If you want to stay connected with us, please check us out. We're on Facebook, Living Meta. We're also on the Instagram, and you can find us at Heath Nicole Reed on Instagram.
And we have several movement therapies, some of the things we demonstrated here in the videos, as well as massage therapy clips, all about a minute or two on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, such cool stuff on YouTube. So check us out, find us. We'd love to find you, and let's stay connected.
And I also wanted to mention, if you head over to our website, heathandnicole.com, then you'll be asked if you want to sign up for our newsletter. And if you do, you'll receive the 15-minute video, The Smiling Organ Meditation. This we also learned in Thailand with Grandmaster Montauk Chia, and we have never found a more fun, enjoyable, and impactful way to move, to breathe, and to oscillate, circulate our attention.
Mm-hmm.
You use visualization, healing sounds, colors to help release what you don't need.
It is the trifecta of moving your breath, circulating your awareness, and moving your body. Healing moves.
With deep appreciation, we are happy you joined along. Feel free to review the videos to practice even more. And I think you'll find with a little practice every day, you can continue to expand into even larger amounts of positive energy and just overall expanding your capacity to give and receive loving kindness.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.
Wonderful. Heath and Nicole, thank you so much. I love being able to move along with the videos that you showed us. And one of the things that I've had the great opportunity of being in some of your classes over the years, and certainly getting to know you guys, and I really appreciate that you guys actually live what you teach. You don't just go and teach other people and hope that they're going to do it. You guys actually live it. And I really encourage people to, like you said, jump on Facebook, join you there, on YouTube, get the downloads, get onto the newsletter, learn about if Heath and Nicole are in your area. And if they're not coming to your area, drop them a note and find a way to get them there, because it would be of tremendous benefit and value to have the opportunity to work with you guys, and especially something like in Thailand or Mexico or any of those really, really super adventurous trips. That would be fantastic.
Thank you, Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're glad that Jake joined us to say hi today, too.
Yeah, he had to say hello.
He wanted to get his voice in the action, too.
Wouldn't be fair.
Exactly. So did you guys want to add anything else before we go?
You know what? As you were talking, I had the thought of something Nicole and I are up to right when we get out of bed, shortly after we get out of bed, and we're brushing our teeth. And Nicole's doing a lunge while she's brushing her teeth, stretching out her soleus, her gastroc, her Achilles tendon. And I'm up to my one-legged squats. And in the past I used to have chronic ankle instability. Nicole used to have a lot of knee projects recurring. And because we take those little steps,
one little thing every single day.
And it's not hard. You don't have to do an hour and a half of yoga every day. When I'm driving home after my massage sessions, I have one of my hands under my hamstring, stretching out my wrist flexors and finding ways, at a red light, taking 3 conscious breaths. So my invitation for everyone out there is to find some really easy and fun healing moves that you love and see how much you can sprinkle those throughout your ordinary day so that you can experience a little more extraordinariness in your life.
Delicious. And
that was wonderful. Yeah, I love that you guys shared that with us. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always in the grocery store lineup, like stretching a calf or doing something.
I love
it.
Yes. Yeah. I don't worry about what people think anymore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as massage therapists, we massage naked strangers for a living.
Yeah,
if you have not embodied your inner abnormal,
that's kind of weird.
yeah, so, I also find, sometimes the stranger and weirder experiences are, the more we put ourselves out there, oftentimes those are the most fun things to do.
Yes, absolutely. And again, like, the joy, the daily joy, because there's so many challenges that happen in life that we have no control over. So the more opportunity we give ourselves to experience joy when we can, I think the better as well.
I agree, Melanie.
Me too. I'm on board.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much. And just before we go, I'd also like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our global sponsor, Massage Envy. As a massage therapist, you put your heart and soul into helping others feel their best. You deserve a career that nurtures you as a person, an artist, and a professional. Visit Massage Envy Careers. Let me try that again. Visit massageenvy.com/careers to find a career that cares for you. Massage Envy franchise locations are independently owned and operated and are the sole employees for all positions they hire. And thank you to our education partner. Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals provides an extensive array of member benefits and exceptional liability insurance. Visit abmp.com to discover why over 80,000 massage and bodywork professionals have chosen ABMP as their professional association. And thank you to our daily sponsors, Massage and Bodywork Magazine, Bon Vital, BioFreeze, and Massage Warehouse.